Hello, my beautiful one, Sarah Pacaro. Today's video is going to be about weight gain and narcissistic abuse. Is weight gain a symptom of narcissistic abuse? Is it something that happens because of narcissistic abuse? Can narcissistic abuse cause eating disorders? What is the fastest way to recover from narcissistic abuse and to drop the weight if you have gained it, or to gain it if you've lost it? There are physical symptoms of narcissistic abuse, and those can show up and express in your body. And we're going to dive into that in this video today and answer the question, is it normal for victims of narcissistic abuse to either gain weight or lose weight? Or is narcissistic abuse related to weight issues and eating disorders? Today in this video, I'm going to share my personal journey and experience along with answering common questions from what I see from what other people have asked. So with that, let's dive in. Can narcissistic abuse cause you to gain weight? Let's explore that. So it's commonly known victims of narcissistic abuse have some degree of CPTSD. CPTSD is complex post-traumatic stress disorder. PTSD is generally thought of as just one single event that causes post-trauma. So later on, you go back and you get triggered from that. But CPTSD is complex, and there are many common instances and experiences that cause trauma. So you have a lot of triggers now, and you don't feel safe in your environment. You don't feel safe internally because you didn't feel safe in that external environment or relationship. So many, if not all, victims of narcissistic abuse, most would say, have some degree of CPTSD from the constant and long-term abuse. And there are many different information sources out there, and most would relate to and connect to food, alcohol, or drug use as a common coping mechanism or coping strategy. I didn't say healthy one, but I said common one. Obviously, we all need food to survive, and a lot of people use food and drinks, beverages, alcohol as a coping mechanism because society accepts it and promotes it. We go out to dinner with friends, we go get drinks with friends, but that can be used as a coping mechanism or coping strategy, which can lead to weight gain, or the restriction of it, the control of not having it in order to lose weight can also be used. And when you have suffered from narcissistic abuse mentally, emotionally, you've gone through a lot of trauma, you've experienced a lot of ups and downs and highs and lows, and you have not felt that you were in control of your life. And if you even gained an ounce of weight and noticed the narcissist looking at someone else who was a smaller size and maybe made a comment or maybe made a gesture towards that person, that may trigger within you already low self-esteem because of the gaslighting, because of the abuse, because of the manipulation. And then your mind may think, well, if you looked more like that person, if you were just as pretty as, if your hair was the same color, if you were the same shape, if you were the same size, if you wore those same clothes, then they wouldn't be looking at that person the way they're looking at them. They would look at you like that. And so it can trigger things internally that make you either want to gain weight or lose weight, in a sense of controlling to get that narcissist to desire and to want you the way that they want that other person. So it's all part of the manipulation and game, which can lead to weight gain or a loss. There's also a lot of information out there that says that the hormones that are released in your body when you're in the narcissistic relationship, when your brain is under that fight, flight, freeze, fawn response for so long, it releases adrenaline and it releases cortisol, and cortisol, that stress hormone. And so many people, when they're in a narcissistic relationship, because they have so much cortisol and adrenaline going through their body feels very dysregulated and very dis-ease. It's not at ease. So sometimes disease can happen because of narcissistic abuse. Sometimes the abuse of different substances can occur as well, like I just mentioned, with the need to try to control your weight. But if you're on a specific regimen to try to control your weight, and you're constantly in a state of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, and cortisol is pumping through your body is going to have more inflammation. You are going to be a more heightened and more emotionally triggered. So maybe you're an emotional eater. I've been through periods of both where I have lost significant amounts of weight, even though I wasn't trying, because my body was in such a chaotic state internally, where even though I was eating, I was losing weight and my clothes were falling off of me. There were other times where, when I was with a narcissist in the past, I was not eating as much as I should have been, probably half the amount of calories that I should have been, but I was exercising excessively to try and fit this idea of what I thought the narcissist wanted me to look like, basically to look like a Barbie doll, because those are the types of images that he would engage with. Those were the types of women that he would look at when we were out. Those are the type of people that caught and drew and held his attention. And I wanted to be the one whose attention he drew, but I wasn't. And so I was willing to do anything to make myself look like that. And in that instance, in that case, it was reduce weight. Then when I got into a relationship with the second narcissist, he said I was too skinny. So I was excited to be able to put on weight and eat. But when that got really bad, it led to emotionally eating, emotionally drinking. So it's been an entire range. You can either gain weight, you can either lose weight when you're with a narcissist. What's happening is internally, you have so much adrenaline and cortisol. So that is going to significantly impact how you sleep and how you eat, the food choices that you make. And if you don't like the way that your body looks, maybe you swing the other direction and you try to lose the weight by excessively exercising and putting your body through a ton of stress. And we all know that stress can make you gain weight, but if you were so stressed, you also may forget to eat, or you may go an entire day and feel that your stomach is grumbling and hungry, but think, I'm not going to eat because if I eat, I'll get fat. And the narcissist is constantly commenting on my weight and saying that I need to lose it, or he's going to leave me, or she. It's not just men that are narcissists. I say men because I'm a woman, but it is women just as well as it is men. So the weight gain or the loss really does depend on the individual. And a lot of people, when they're in narcissistic relationships, enter into depression because of the highs and lows and the ups and downs and having to constantly keep up with the mood of the narcissist. And you just feel like it can't do it. And because your mind is stuck in the fight, flight, freeze, fawn mode constantly, and that adrenaline is pumping through your body, you may find comfort in foods like ice cream. You may find comfort in foods like wine. You may find comfort in foods like cakes or chocolates or whatever it is. Very little do people find comfort in foods like salad and carrots and kale. We usually turn to foods that are high in fat and high in sugar. And if you want to know why that is, very interesting, because that is the first natural food source that we had. That is the first natural food source that provided a sense of comfort. If you were breastfed, a mother's breast milk is high in fat and high in sugar. So the very first food that we ever survived on, and the very first food that we connected with a source of comfort. So that's why foods that are on the shelf that are high in fat and high in sugar are so addicting, because they take us back to that first feeling and experience of true comfort and true connection. So when you're under stress, you turn to foods like that. But oftentimes when people are under that much stress and experiencing all of the craziness and chaos of a narcissistic relationship, they may feel depressed. So they may go to the doctor and get a depression medication. I hear this a lot of times from the clients that I work with, that they were put on depression medication, and that depression medication made them gain weight. It changed the way that they thought, it changed the way that they exercised, it changed their mood, it changed their energy, it changed their motivation, and it changed the food that they craved. So medicine, if you're put on it, can have an effect on you. It may make you gain weight. Maybe you feel that your emotions are more stable, and you maybe, are happy about that, but one of the side effects is maybe it makes you gain weight. So there's a lot of different things can affect your weight, whether it's a weight gain or a weight loss when you're in the relationship with a narcissist. A lot of it as well is in that relationship, that person is belittling you and name calling you and making you feel insignificant, making you feel like you're not good enough, maybe telling you that you're overweight, and if you lost weight, maybe they would be more attracted to you, maybe they wouldn't be cheating on you, maybe they wouldn't be looking at other people or desire other people, making you feel like it's your fault. But another side of this as well is the need for control. In a narcissistic relationship, you don't feel that you have a sense of control at all. So it is really common for victims of narcissistic abuse to turn to coping mechanism to deal with that, to deal with whatever it is that they can do in their lives to feel that they have some sense of control. So if it's narcissistic abuse from parents that you endure in early adolescence or in childhood, at some point, maybe a coping mechanism is to restrict your food intake or to restrict your eating, because that gives you a sense of control in your life. Maybe you can't control the external environment and the way that the narcissist is going to be, but the one thing you can control in your life is what you put in your mouth or what comes out of your body. When I was in college in my early 20s, then my first relationship with a narcissist, that's what I would do. I would binge and purge. I would eat a bunch of food because I felt empty inside. It would give me that sense of fullness, that sense of satisfaction, but then I felt disgusting after. So I would purge to release it. And that was a sense of control. I had control of that. It was a private thing that I did, and I didn't tell anyone about it, but it gave me that sense of fullness when I felt empty and that sense of relief when I felt disgusting. I was able to purge all of that feeling of disgustingness. In a sense, if you haven't experienced that, that may not make sense to you, but it gave me a sense of control. So it was something that also chemically alters your brain and gives you that sense of high. So it does become an addictive cycle that you can find yourself in, because you become addicted to that high. You become addicted to that minute, minuscule sense of control that you have when you experience that. You may also experience that your weight goes up and down depending on if the relationship is good or bad. So if the relationship is good and you guys are together and you're going out to eat and you're having a lot of fun, maybe your weight increases. But when you break up and things are bad, maybe you lose the weight again because you can't sleep and you don't feel like eating because emotionally you feel down in the dumps. And so you may notice that your weight fluctuates and goes up and down. So to sum it up, it is normal for people who've been with narcissists or victims of narcissistic abuse to have a whole slew of body weight, body dysmorphia issues, different eating habits and disorders. I mean, you name it, right? But it generally is in the sense of control, and physically what your body is expressing externally is a representation of what's going on internally and emotionally. That is where it is key to find yourself in a safe environment to get out of that narcissistic relationship as quickly as possible, and then doing the inner work to heal all of the internal wounds, to heal that internal programming that you believe about yourself, that you are ugly, that you are fat, that you're overweight, and get your body into a balanced state. It's generally not to do with the food. We usually use food to put into our bodies to fill a void, and that leads to weight gain, or we reduce it to have a sense of control. But it generally is around feeling safe and feeling protected, and food is just the vehicle that is used to gain that sense of control, protection, and safety, whether it's something that's lacking or whether it's something that you just need more of to feel more complete in your life. So if that is what's going on, hopefully this video helps explain where you are and maybe what you've experienced and what you've been through. If you are ready to take back your life and completely transform it after having been with a narcissist, you will find that one of the byproducts and one of the results of doing the inner work to healing is that your body finds itself in a healthy, natural state. You actually exercise and eat well because you love your body, not to punish it the way that you did in the relationship when you were in the relationship with the narcissist. That is a beautiful space to be in, is to feel your body, love your body, appreciate your body for the way that it moves and the things that it does for you, not to you. So when you're ready to love your body, ready to take back your life after having been with a narcissist, I would love to connect. There are links in the video below this description to free resources and free trainings and free guides, and a link to my website so we can connect there. Until then, I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to talking to you very soon.